All right, what's up, everybody? It's your boy ShottyTheBeam, and today we're doing the Gravity podcast. Do you believe in gravity? Because I do. And today we're with rohan.jpeg on Instagram. And yeah, why don't you introduce yourself, my guy?
What's good, yo? My name is Rohan. I produce and create under the artist name Roho, and I've been working at this shit now for almost 6 or 7 years. I've been playing piano my whole life and started producing back when I was in high school. And I would say I am as much of a visual artist as I am an audio artist. So I try to combine those two elements into all my work. And these days I am trying to tackle both sides when it comes to music and, create visuals for people's album as well as contributing to the production to get a super well-rounded, feeling for what I'm creating.
Yeah, I am like in love with that. That's such like a cool thing because if you take control of both aspects, that just makes you, I think, a better artist.
Yeah, I mean, to be in control of as much of the artistry as possible is honestly, it's the goal for me.
And I think a lot of people like just nowadays, like like the bedroom pop. It's like a lot of people are taking more control in their music, which I think is beautiful because we get more of like the artist energy. Because there's so many producers that we don't even know what they look like and things like that.
Yep, I've discovered some of the illest producers I've ever seen during COVID just because they started finally posting on Instagram.
Yes, facts. Yeah, it's tight as hell, and it's like and I like the kind of like the Tyler or Kanye like producer / artist thing that has almost been normalized nowadays. It's almost like a standard, I think.
Bro, it's crazy. A lot of producers who have been popping for years have just started singing or rapping on their own beats, and obviously it's hit or miss, but for some of the bigger names it's been crazy, and they pretty much just opened up an entire new lane for themselves.
I fucking with your beats, like that one Bollywood beat that you dropped recently. That shit was tough. I think that's a wave, low key, bro. That's like a wave. I think like using the
Bollywood samples have been undefeated. I flipped like hundreds of them in my life, but this one was hitting different, and I figured I'd share it with the world.
Dude, I don't know. I need to learn how to make drums like that because that shit's crazy.
Appreciate it, brother. I mean, if I could give advice to any producer, it would be just like focus on your drums until you're confident that you can make the sample slap. That's the most important. You could have all the melodies in the world and you can make great music, but if you want your music to knock, it's always the drums, always.
Especially nowadays, because like I don't know, like the bass producers. I don't know if you see that shit on TikTok, but people are just destroying their bass and just that's basically the beat. It's like they just
a blown out 808 does not count as a kick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. So you said you've been doing music since like your whole life, basically, even.
Yeah, I've been playing piano since I was like 7. I'm 24 now. I basically I was trained classically, but after a while I was like, fuck playing other people's music. So I started learning jazz so that I could improvise. And eventually that kind of segued into production, and just having the ability to play any instrument I wanted through the piano was what kind of made me fall in love with that shit.
Dude, deadass. Like, I don't know, yeah. Piano is actually so essential for producers nowadays.
Yeah, that's my other tip. In addition to the drums, is like learn the fucking piano, and you can literally do anything.
Agreed. Yes, you can play full orchestras with just knowing how to play piano.
Exactly.
Yeah, that shit is overpowered as hell. So like, so with that, I guess. If you know piano, do you feel like there's even a need for like knowing guitar or knowing?
I feel like unless you were trained that way, if your approach to music is starting from scratch, the piano should definitely be the first thing you learn. But now that I'm at a point where I feel comfortable with that, I think having the ability to play other instruments is so OP. Like you can never simulate a good guitar riff on a keyboard.
True. And then like I guess like that human feel as well, like you can tell.
Yeah. Like one of the reasons I just for the longest time I wasn't happy with my bass is just because especially acoustic bass, I just wasn't able to simulate like that tiny glide between notes, which makes all the difference. So then I went and copped the bass, but like 3 years ago I would have opened up the MIDI bass and fucked around for hours.
Yeah, that's what I do right now. I need to get a bass too, but just the funds are not like that right now. So
no, I hear that.
Yeah. So I guess I definitely see that like that vision with you, as in like, oh, you have both sides. But like, what do you think is like an end goal? Do you have some like goals that you have or you want to achieve by the time?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I have no idea because things have been progressing so rapidly during COVID. Like every month, some shit is happening for me that I didn't even think was going to be possible. So I'm just kind of seeing where this is going. And I've been doing the same exact thing every day for like a year and a half, and the results are starting to differ. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. My dream would be to open up some sort of a production house, like an audio visual production house,
Ooh, that'd be
surround
tight.
myself with a dope team, and then just like handle people's projects from start to finish.
That'd be sick. That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah, I want to work with Nike one day too. That's been a goal of
Ooh,
mine for a minute.
that'd
In
be
any
yeah.
capacity, yeah.
I think you could definitely do that too. I think
Shit,
yeah, you have like a unique style, so I think that definitely would work out one day.
appreciate
I,
that. Yo, tell that to them, bro. I've sent in like 5 applications.
hey, one day, we're here for
Yeah,
that though. We're here for that. Yeah. So like, are there any besides like Nike and that? Do you have any other dream collabs?
yeah. I mean, there's definitely artists I want to work with. In terms of music,
Mm,
I mean, my top tier goal is like to produce tracks for Kendrick and even the J. Cole's, and
mm.
even I would love a track with Lupe before I go out of the
Oh
game.
yeah, that
So
whoa,
basically,
whoa.
yeah, I mean, creating with the people who inspire me to produce is the end goal for me.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I think
Like,
like Cole, Kendrick, Drake, like those are given. Like I don't think anybody would be like, I don't want to work with them. But
yeah, right.
I think
If you
Lupe.
did,
I've
like,
never heard Lupe. Lupe's tight. That's cool. Lupe's
shit,
underrated
oh
as hell
yeah,
too.
one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Yeah, no, he's dude, that dude's different lyrically. That man's
Hmm.
yeah.
That's the thing. I know I could slide him. Like, I know I would never expect whatever he would send me back. Like, I want a
Mm,
rapper. I want to work with a rapper one day who's just gonna like blow me away.
yeah, no, that's
And
cool.
there's a lot of there's. I mean, bro, there's a million people out there who aren't popping yet who could do the same thing. But like to work with the people that inspired you to make music in the first place is probably a whole different energy.
Mm, yeah, and I think I'm sure recently you saw the things about Doom, and because I know you fuck with Doom a lot. I can tell by your
Yeah.
Instagram that you really like Doom, and I don't know. I think that was like for me a dream collaboration as well, but sadly I don't know that can't happen anymore. But
Yeah, another one of those for me, actually even bigger, is Mac Miller. Like I wanted
oh
to work with that dude so bad because I feel like he was on the up and up, but rest in peace to a
yeah,
young
to
legend.
both of them are quite goated. I think yeah I think Mac would have fit your style perfectly too. I think you guys both fit that like almost like funk rap kind of thing.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because while I was forgetting to jump on this call, I was making a beat and I literally just put a Mac Miller acapella over it like 10 minutes ago.
That's tight.
And
Hey, how'd
like,
that?
yeah,
Did that shit go crazy?
his, his groovy flow, yeah, bro. Every time it just brings the track to life.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, and I think I don't know. One thing I feel like I've definitely noticed with just like today's music, like I guess like the industry right now is just like the love for producers. They're finally getting love that like has not been given for so long,
For
and
sure.
I
For
think that's a
sure.
beautiful thing. And like yeah, people are making like whole like I don't know, just like Metro Boomin kind of set like that precedent, like that you can be famous as hell just for making beats.
Mhm. For having a producer project where rappers are the features.
True. Yeah, I love that
Bro,
idea
but
too.
we won't stop until producers are listed in the track, or at least as artists, as at the very least as artists.
Yeah, facts. Yes.
Like I don't want to have to go to the credits to see the person who produced this song. Like they're, in my opinion, the more important half of the equation.
I mean, and nowadays, bro, like Playboi Carti exists. Like that man doesn't even say words. He makes noises and then
And people eat that up.
but
The
he's carried
the
by the
way I
beat.
always Yeah, the way I always break it down though is like nobody is out here listening to fucking acapellas, but everybody and their mother bumps instrumentals. Like producers will always be slightly more necessary to make, a complete song.
Hmm. That's interesting. Actually, I never thought about it like that. That's actually a good way to think about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like would you bump like a Kendrick acapella for All Right, or would you rather listen to just the beat alone? It's day and night for me.
Yeah. No, real
The
shit.
acapella would still slap. I chose a bad example, but like you know you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, no, I get you though. Like, yeah, no, I get that. That's funny.
Obviously,
uh,
I'm biased.
yeah, no, but so other than I guess Mac and Doom and whoever's and like Lupe and them, I guess. Do you have any other like pretty big influences on your beats? I guess.
I mean, like the cool thing is I'm starting to connect with some of the producers who got me into producing early, like Monte, Sango, a lot of those people. And then even on the rapper side, like one of my favorite rappers, Mick Jenkins, is someone I'm working with like fairly regularly now. So I'd say I'm not trying to set my goals too lofty because they're starting to come true like one by one. So I'm just grateful for that. The other thing that I have though, I mean the other goals I have are on the visual side where I would love to collaborate with, the same thing, like artists who inspired me in any way, like Murakami, Daniel Arsham, just a bunch of people who are kind of creating but in tune with the culture. Like I was never really a fine artist. All the things I liked were definitely based off like you know kind of street style or urban culture. So the people who are creating in those lanes obviously were kind of intertwined with hip hop, and to be able to work with them in any capacity would be dope for me.
That's dreams right there. That's dreams. I don't know. I think whenever you say Murakami, I think of just like Kanye graduation cover art, and
Yeah, like
like that
that's
would be
crazy.
that's a dream right there. I think that would be like. So have you done like a lot of cover arts for people? And
Yeah, too many to count at this point. I'm actually taking a step back from that just because uh like luckily I'm now in a position to pick and choose my commissions a little more like for the things that resonate with me. But yeah, there was definitely a point in time where I was making covers for folks without ever listening to their song.
oh, that's crazy. uh,
It's tough, bro. I mean, when you want money, like y- at the end of the day, it's within your skill set. You have no reason to say no. But like, there's some tracks I just cannot vibe with. But I'll still make your cover though.
that's funny. Hey, yeah, but you gotta do what you gotta do to get that bag though. Like, yeah, no,
Yeah,
I get
right.
that. That's funny. um, so we were talking about Kanye a little bit ago. What are some of your what's your favorite Kanye album?
For me, it's probably got to be like late registration, just because the beats on there resonated with me differently at the whenever I started bumping that album for the first time. I was always a huge fan of like horns, cinematic samples, Just Blaze type drums, and Kanye definitely tapped into that there.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And
No,
my
I
favorite Kanye song slash probably my favorite rap song of all time is "Touch the Sky" with Lupe.
that song
Like,
goes. That's slept on as well. That song
bro,
goes.
oh
Touch.
my god! And it's
Mm,
Just Blaze on the beat. I'm pretty sure. So like, that's
that's a
just
voice.
peak for me. I'll never be tired of that.
That song is fire as hell
And
too.
they sampled Curtis Mayfield. I just have to add that one, and it's
Yes.
fucking. If you
Yes.
put music in the background of this podcast, you please use that as the intro or some
Okay,
shit.
but I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Got you. Yeah, I think actually. Okay, but because I think if I put it on Spotify only or something like that, then I can use music that's on Spotify. So okay, but I'll do that. Okay, say less. um, Biggie or Tupac?
Biggie
Why is that?
flows
Simple
for
man,
me. It's
Biggie
yeah,
flows. Yes, sir.
Biggie flows. I mean, definitely can't be compared. Both obviously goated, but something about the way Biggie skated around beats for me always just hit a little harder.
Yeah, that
And
man.
the fact that he was a big man, like his whole energy was just so dope.
Dead ass. And dude, they did him dirty in like that Netflix documentary. I don't know if you watched that shit,
No, I haven't seen
but that shit was ass. That shit was
it.
garbage.
All right, I'll stay away.
Yeah, yeah, definitely don't. It was pretty mid, and I
I
don't know.
mean, yeah, I mean, any attempt by Hollywood or the cinema to portray hip hop usually falls flat because like who's producing these? Are they even POC on the sets or directing?
That's facts. I thought the
But
Little Peep one wasn't bad though. I don't know if you've
oh
seen
yeah,
it.
I haven't seen that, but I even know like the Wu-Tang show. I think there's a series on Netflix where they kind of break down songs, and they've worked with artists like Nas and shit. Those are solid. We're getting there slowly.
Yes, sir. Yeah, one day we'll get there. Hopefully.
Hmm.
If you could only listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would that be and why?
Oh shit, bro. That's actually tough. I might, and this is not just rap, right?
Yeah, anything. Yeah.
No, it would definitely be a rap album though. That's actually tough as fuck. I would say off the top of my head, Good Kid, Mad City, because you could get just about like every mood you want from that album. Because if I could only listen to it for the rest of my life, like
Yeah.
if there's anybody out there who says anything even remotely close to Playboi Carti, like you have mental illness. You need diversity in an album and an artist.
I'm dead. You have mental illness. That's facts. No.
Nah, but for me, Good Kid, Mad City is like just the perfect balance of everything you could want out of an album.
True. Yeah, I don't know. I think people that listen to only rap or like just hip hop, like the modern day hip hop especially, they're just psychopaths. Like that's some menace vibes right there.
Yeah, right. Well, it's such demon energy all the time. Lighten up.
That person's not human, bro.
No.
What do you think is the most underrated album of all time?
Underrated.
Mm.
Yo, give me like 1 minute to scroll through Spotify because I don't
Yeah,
think
but
about what's underrated. It's a good question though. See what I've been listening to. That's actually hella tough. I might lean towards like one of the Freddie Gibbs and Madlib collabs.
yes, sir.
Maybe Pinata for me. Because that album is just like mastery of on both parts.
Yeah. No,
But you won't find too many people listening to it still. Or at least, making it known. So it's hard for me to judge what the people think. But in my mind, more people need to listen to that shit.
yeah. Madlib is another dream collaboration.
Oh yeah.
That'd
Yeah,
be
for
dope.
sure.
Yeah.
He's hella low key. Oh yeah, for me, I forgot to say another dream collaboration. Probably like tied with Madlib. It's probably K Tronada.
Oh.
He has been a huge influence. Like I never made beats where the kick hit on every bar until I started listening to K-Tro.
Oh, damn.
I was
Yeah, he
I
has.
was always I always assumed like this is gonna be some house shit, but the way he started incorporating like jazz and R&B into those same rhythms, I feel like he definitely made his own lane, and that shit inspired me.
Yeah. Uh, what do you usually do when you're trying to get inspiration for music or art or?
Yo, it's funny. Like I would say 50% of the time, the inspo comes from me like just listening to music, and then I'll hear a beat I really fuck with, and I'll sometimes I won't even make it like more than 30 seconds into the song. I'll just be like, all right, I gotta make something that's like harder than this. Like it's like a super competitive mind state, but I've kind of channeled it into a healthy way where it's less about like what they're doing and more about like, yo, I want to get on this level. So my inspiration either comes through that way from hearing other music that I like, or like for example, yesterday morning I was in a coffee shop and I just heard some shit on the radio, like some dope Roy Ayers sample, I think. And I just saved that and I was literally looking forward to flipping it like all day. And when I got home, I made a K-Tro type beat and it's low-key a bop. But basically the fun part has just been taking inspiration however it comes. Like I surround myself with enough material that I know it'll come, but I don't actively look for it. So the music usually happens in a pretty organic way.
That's actually really cool. Yeah, no, I like that. I think I find myself doing the opposite, where it's like I'm like looking for inspiration, but I think that's when it comes like ingenuine. Like it's not like you're forcing yourself to.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the self-doubt creeps in because you're like, am I just trying to create right now or was I actually inspired by this? So I think more people need to be okay with like not saving projects and accepting, temporary defeat.
Like, what do you think the importance of, like, I don't know, just because it's like I think a lot of people take that though and they're like, oh, they only make something when they feel inspired, instead of
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah. I
that there's an
definitely wouldn't say that's
importance.
the way either.
Mm,
I think the most successful people have that balance of practice
mm,
and inspiration. Like I might be inspired by a beat a little, like I might be inspired by a sample I hear, and I know it's not gonna be like a track that I'm like gonna send to anyone. I won't even finish it, and it won't end up on my tape. But I will at least bang out like a solid 8-bar loop, just because it's practice at that point. Like I post hella beats on my Instagram story, mostly just because I don't finish most of my beats. But if a dope artist hits me back, he's like, "Yo, like, what's good with this one?" I know how to like I know what I want to finish, or I know that there's like a purpose for that beat. But otherwise, I kind of just treat Ableton as like a sketchbook. Like I'll go in, make an idea. If I fuck with it, I'll save it. If not, I'll delete it. But either way, I got my practice in.
yeah, no, that's cool actually. That's a cool way to think about it. Yeah, because you definitely have that unique perspective of just understanding. Because I would say you do art on a very high level as much as like you produce. So it's like
Appreciate it,
that's a very
man.
unique.
That was
Because
always important for me.
yeah, that's crazy.
I would say
That's
the art was lagging. The art was lagging behind by like 2 years. But
really.
then, yeah, then I discovered Blender, which is a 3D software. My girlfriend actually put me on, and this was like over a year ago. But it's a free software that's insanely powerful, and sitting in that, like the learning curve was just exponential, and it allowed me to catch up to my like where I
Production.
was with audio, and
Mm,
yeah, because like as much as people hate to admit it, the visual part of your music when you're posting online is huge.
so
Like
important.
nobody really no one's trying to stare at a screen recording of your fucking files app. Like there's got to be something more to it if it's not just through your headphones. So I wanted to make sure I was capturing people even if their sound was off,
Mm.
and eventually I got to that point, and just trying to keep going.
That's so dead ass though, because I think hella people just get lazy with it. Yeah, you're just seeing like the fucking the headphones, and then you're like, oh, nice.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't blame anyone for even using a still image, but like you can't fail to understand that it's a huge part of what makes music popular.
Yeah, no, and that's such a slept on thing too. I think that some people don't. I think that's become. I think with our like new generation, because you see people like ASAP Rocky and Tyler and Kanye that really care about the visual aspect of it. I
Yeah.
think that's like influenced this generation, and now people are caring about it. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when people talk about ASAP Rocky, they're definitely gonna ask you like, "Yo, have you seen the LSD music
Yeah,
video?"
yeah.
Every fucking time
Every
because
time, actually, every fucking
because
time.
that shit was insane. Like it did change the game a little bit. But it's funny. Like, man, I made covers for people who will literally they'll be talking about like I spent thousands on a chain or this and that, and then they're like, "Could you do the cover for 50 bills?" I'm like, "Where the fuck are your priorities at?"
That's
And if
funny.
yeah, it's not even something I can bring up because, like you said, get the bag. But I'll never do it for that cheap. But I'll do it for a little more, and in the back of my head, be thinking like, "Yo, I'm never working with your broke ass again."
This man got standards. Stop playing with him, bro.
Yeah, right. Like you gotta value your own art too.
Fact. Yes, that's fact. Yeah, no, that's very true. That's very true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, because I
Yeah,
think a lot of people definitely like devalue themselves, and it's I don't know. I think for me, like I can never swallow my pride and be like, well, here you go, here's this, and that. But it's like you kind of have to. That's the thing.
yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, eventually you gotta desensitize yourself, and like
Yeah.
if you are a fan of your own music, ultimately you'll be good.
True. Very true. Wait, so do you make like actual music as well? Like do you have like
Like full
Spotify
song.
and stuff?
Yeah. I have a project out on Spotify, just a beat tape that I put out last April. And then I've produced for a bunch of artists, which you might be able to find through my Spotify. But for the most part, right now, I'm just kind of working on the low, sending a lot of beats out to my favorite artists, and shit will start popping up soon. People always ask me that because I post hella beats on Instagram. They're like, "Yo, what are you gonna do with these?" And the answer is like literally nothing. They're just gonna sit here.
And just see where they go.
Yeah, the reason I'm hesitant to drop a project is because like every couple months, I feel like I'm making better music than I just made. So,
I would say to that though, like be careful with that mentality though, because then you will never get anything done.
oh
And
yeah, absolutely. The good thing is though, like through each period, I come away with like 2 or 3 tracks that I'm like, all right, I'm saving this for life. And to me, if I can just get those, it's worth it.
true, that's very
But
true.
at the
That's
same
actually that's
time,
good. That's good.
yeah, at the same time, it's important to remember that I ain't shit. So I gotta drop the project if I actually want people to hear my shit.
Yeah, it's just nice to have a little like discography, like to show people like, oh, this is like the good shit I'm making. It's just
Yeah,
yeah, some people don't catch it as well as you know, because you know that you're good, but some people don't know that. So it's like yeah,
for
but
sure. The thing is though, a large part of it for me is like since these are only 1 minute beats, I also want you to be able to see the visual. So like I'm gonna direct you to my Instagram page instead of my Spotify because there is that visual element. So it's tricky.
hmm. Maybe I guess on Spotify there's like little visualizers, so maybe.
Yeah. When I finally drop the tape, every canvas is gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, oh yes sir, I forgot. Damn, yeah, those just gonna go crazy. That's fire.
For sure.
Um, so another thing I wanted to talk to you about was just like brown people in the industry. Like, what do you think about that? Like, as of late, do you think that we need more representation, or what do you
Yeah,
think?
of course. I think that'll always be true, but they're definitely making more strides. Like maybe not specifically within music, but definitely within the entertainment industry. Like I'm seeing more and more films popped up with brown names in the credits, higher up on the credits. It's
True.
dope. And ultimately that means that you'll see more representation in the show. So if that's what it takes, that's totally cool. As far as music goes though, yeah, I would like to see more brown producers who are dope just because of their production. Like a lot of people try to base the value of their work around their identity as well. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you look like because the music's gonna speak for itself. But I do think it's dope when someone who had, like a similar upbringing to me is also out here producing because like they know what it's like to have Indian parents, bro. My parents have barely heard any of my beats.
Nah, bro. My parents they just start cooking my ass, bro. They just start being like, oh, and nah, my parents are low-key racist with it, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's bad. Hey, but if you have immigrant parents, you know how it is, bro. When you're raised in a different culture, like that's
Yeah,
just how it is.
bro. I figured out very, very early on though, like I'll keep because I got my college degree in chemical engineering, like
Wow.
just to show you how far off the path I strayed. I did that shit, but I figured out very early on, like, okay, yo, this is something I'll probably want to do, but keep it on the low, wait till it generates enough bread for me that I could get respect for it, like no matter who I tell. So by the
Hmm.
time I started getting, like checks off music, it definitely became easier to tell my parents, like, look, this is not some like
Bukwas.
total bedroom shit.
Yeah, true. Cause I'm honestly in a very similar situation, but I'm in college right now,
Oh,
so
word.
so it's like I don't know, I'm in a situation like that, and like, I don't know, I can't. Sometimes in my head, I can't balance whether I want to just go full all in or I want to just like do like that balance, like you were saying, and
Mhm.
it's just for me, it's like, oh, you're brown, oh, go to college, makes sense, like that's typical of you, that's expected.
Yeah,
And that's the
yeah.
thing. It's like it hits me in the back of my head, and I'm like, ooh, I don't like that, and I want to like,
Nah. It's
I don't
definitely
know.
a weird feeling to sit with. But the other thing that I advise to a lot of people is like as much as you wanna chase this dream, like it becomes really real with the money aspect of it. Like to be able to support yourself first and foremost is always the goal. Like financial freedom is definitely the goal before full-time producing. But at the same time, like if you really if you really fed up with where you're at, or you feel like you need to go full-time, I could never discourage anyone from that. Just make sure you're getting your bag at all times
Facts. The
because
bag is
you don't want,
essential.
yeah, like you don't want to be a platinum producer in your parents' crib. And it's funny because I'm actually going back to my parents' crib for a couple months now, and I'm just about to be in the basement all day producing.
Or are you just like for the summer type shit?
Yeah, my brother's having a kid, So
Mm,
I'm back to the East Coast for a couple months. But the good thing is to have options.
mm, yeah. So I don't know. Do you
And I
like at your
still,
parents'
yo,
journey?
by the way, I still work a corporate job, like
Oh, really?
a remote 9 to 5 job for some random digital marketing company back east. But once I moved out west, I mean, like, swear they forgot about me. So my days are just way more free than they should be doing remote work. But I'm about to get out of that fairly soon, and then I'm really gonna, like kick it into a higher gear
That's tight as hell, bro. So it's like I don't know, but you were saying it took you like 7 years to get into where you are now, right?
with production.
Mm.
Yeah, so let's see. It's more like, yeah, 6 or 7 years to be honest. And I mean, mind you, this was like, I'd say I've only really been taking it seriously, like maybe making beats every single day for like 2 years.
Hmm.
But before that, it was balancing it with school. It was more like doing it when I can. Eventually, became like I would put off other work I actually had to do to make beats.
Dude, I don't know. Like, yeah, that's what I'd be doing like now. And like this summer, I'm trying to like prove something to myself, one, and like to my parents that I can do this, like for real. Because
Hmm.
those are the only people that are in the way. I think, like, to me, it's like just staying disciplined and doing something for a certain period of time and you can stay like committed to it. That shows, yeah, like the commitment, the discipline that you can do something. And it's like,
Hmm.
and you can show that to your parents or you can show that to people and be like, oh, he did this as much as he could.
Exactly. Exactly. That's important. But at the same time, bro, if you think about it, it's kind of tragic that you have to even feel like, all right, I'm
I
gonna get
know.
it to a point where I can get their approval. Because you hear about people who grew up like their dad's a jazz pianist, their mom is like an artist, and the
And then
whole time their parents are just like pushing them
do it.
towards this. Yeah.
I know,
Meanwhile,
facts.
a lot of people are over here like, can I even get the approval? So it's just
Yeah,
there's multiple different sides to the story, but think about how dope it would be to be getting that support from the only people who you really needed clearance from.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't. I just like. I wish they could just understand, like the vision. They just like. I'm like. I just tell them all the time. I'm like, this is gonna work out, bro. Just trust. Just give it some
Just
time.
bring home a platinum record, then everyone will
Yeah.
shut up.
Just yeah. Get a quick 1 million views. Then you're good. It's like
For
okay.
real.
Thanks. I'll try. And then like yeah, they always see like my parents at least they see like a bunch of Bollywood shit on like their YouTube and stuff, and it's getting like 35 million views. And they're like, why are you not getting views like this? I'm like, dude, I'm not a, I don't have like a production team. I have like a couple of my friends just make videos. Damn.
Yo, bro, there was a point in time I couldn't even put up 35 views at a point in time. There's really levels.
I know, but I know, and honestly, like I've seen some of your earlier stuff like on Instagram. Like I love like that like that like aesthetic. Like it's got like that cool ass like chill aesthetic with it. And
Word.
bro, I'm telling you right now, like once you start, you said you're gonna put it into hard, like into full gear.
Higher
Make
gear, yeah.
sure, make sure to go on TikTok, bro. Make sure.
Yo, I've debated. I put a couple videos on TikTok like
Mm,
over the past year, and I've
mm,
debated with it. It's just I don't know like what I would consistently. Because if I was gonna go on TikTok, I would want to be posting the same type of shit because I feel like those people do the best, like specialized accounts.
yeah, no fact.
But a lot of my art just doesn't fit onto that screen size, bro.
Oh, that's true as well. That's true.
Because I design in squares, so that's like
Mm.
low key the number one thing holding me back. And
Hey,
also, I don't want the Chinese government spying on me. You feel me?
dude, they definitely do be spying though. Most definitely, bro. That some of that shit
Yeah.
is creepy. Oh,
For real.
yeah, no.
But
But I
either
don't know.
way,
Yeah, yeah.
I would like my ultimate goal is to not have to rely on the internet for my any music related success. Like if I could just be in sessions all day and then go home and like just chill and not have to interact with anybody on the internet, like in the DMs, that would be key. COVID is, it's funny because COVID is when I've done the most networking and like met the most people just because I've been stuck inside all day. But in reality, producing with people and collaborating in person is just a million times better. So finding a way to bridge that gap is going to be key.
I haven't been able to do that yet. Like I want, well, cause yeah, I also, to be honest, I started making music during quarantine. Like that's when my music journey has begun.
Oh,
So
whatever.
I never really got a chance to do any like the studio stuff or anything, which is
Oh, bro,
unfortunate,
even I'm not gonna lie, like even before this, I wasn't in studios. Only when I was at college, they had some music studios there, but like I wasn't really in studios with artists even like a year ago. Still haven't been, obviously, because of COVID, but
yeah.
a lot of people will tell you that studios are overrated, especially if you're a producer.
Mm.
Like it's really the bulk of the work gets done at the crib, but just to be able to interact, like I don't even care if I was only at the crib, but to be able to interact with other artists is what I'm looking for.
Like the Kenny Beats Cave thing, I fucked with that heavy.
Exactly.
He a genius
Yo,
for that shit,
that's a
bro.
dream.
Yeah, deadass. Yeah, I could see you. I think I could see you getting in that like Kenny lane with your stuff.
I think yeah, eventually I'll have to start like maybe I don't know if it's Twitch or breakdowns or tutorials or something, but I'll have to start being a little more interactive with the community.
Hmm.
I'm trying to wait until I reach like 10K on any platform, and then I'll kind of like take it a little more seriously.
I think, cause I think the thing is like you kind of have to make that sacrifice and be like, all right, hella networking on your phone all the time, social media, use it to your advantage. And then once you get really popping, bro, then you just walk around and people are like, damn, I know that guy. He does nice production and stuff. And then people will reach out to you anyways. So it's like, I guess you just have to make that sacrifice while you're small. But then eventually you'll get to that point where it's like, oh, I don't need this phone anymore and I can still make bread. So
for sure. One of the other things I will say though is like don't sleep on the power of discovery as opposed to networking. Like I would say my favorite people I've ever ended up working with have just discovered my page. Like it hasn't really been the folks I've reached out to. And the power of people seeing you doing your own thing and then wanting to be a part of that sometimes makes you more attractive in their eyes than if you were to reach out and be in their DMs. So there's like a psychological element to it, but I think about it for myself, like discovering some random low-key artist who doesn't have that many followers but is consistently creating dope art, like that's the type of person I would want to be involved with, because they're not on here to like just make connections. They're here to just show the world what they're making. So it's really all about the balance. At the same time, you can't talk to anybody because your DMs would be dry as shit, but like you know, allow yourself to also be discovered.
That's actually, that's good advice, I think. I like that. I agree with that a lot. That, being discovered is just, I think, especially you'll get a loyal fan out of being discovered.
Exactly, bro. Like, I was looking at it the other day. There's like a bunch of people I've never met in my entire life, but I recognize their names popping up in my comments for like the last 2 years consistently. And once people they've found a low-key artist who's like on their journey upwards, they're gonna want to be a part of that.
Exactly. That's fact. All right.
And eventually, that's also how you make money.
True.
People
True. I think we're gonna wrap this up because I gotta get vaccinated. But I got like 2 more things for you, and then I'll let you go.
Yeah, sure.
First thing, so in this, huge range of musical artists or just artists period, what do you think makes yourself stand out? What do you think makes yourself unique?
I would say for me, it's that I don't make any type of music or art. Like, that's kind of weak. Hold on, cut that one. I can think of a better reason. I feel like it's just that anytime you see or hear something from me, it has been considered in both an audio and a visual aspect. So like, I would say what separates me from other producers is that my music sounds and looks good, in my opinion. And people sleep on the looks, so that's just where I'm trying to create my own lane.
That's tight. And do you have anything you want to promote to the people or share?
If you want to see what I'm up to and if whether or not this is all cap, check out my Instagram, rohan.jpg. And I'm throwing my work up all there. I'm throwing my work up on there all the time. So I appreciate anyone who comes through and looks. And if I do make any announcements about projects and shit, it will probably be on there.
Yes, sir. Go support them, guys. Thank you so much, Rohan, for joining me. This is tight.
Absolutely, bro. For sure. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Okay, bye bye.